I'm just calling Praveen now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm calling Bharat. His phone is not reachable. I think we can go ahead.
Okay, you just drop in a message. We are going to start like at least in a couple of minutes.
1 second. Yeah, he said that he can't join the call today. I think we can continue.
Okay, fine then. Yeah. Anyone else is going to join? No.
No, that's it. Abhinav, can we start? Abhinav, we can't hear you.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, can hear.
Okay. So, hi guys. Yesterday, unfortunately, I don't know what happened that the meeting ended within the time frame of 1 hour, and I didn't realize that the meeting has ended, and I kept on going with the flow, and I ended the meeting at 15 minutes, like 5:15. Unfortunately, that 15 minutes was also not recorded due to the system.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's got scheduled in such a way. Automatically it will get disconnect the calls
Yeah.
from the phone.
So I have already discussed this with Sunaina.
Mhm.
So they are working on it so that if there is a buffer of 10 or 15 minutes, the call should not disconnect until and unless we are still doing anything on the
Yeah,
screen. Okay,
yes.
so they are working on it because
Because when we are,
obviously,
yeah, because when we're doing any lab practice, I mean, we are doing installation or if something goes wrong, then again you get disconnect.
yeah, so that will not get disconnected. So if you are working on the lab will not get disconnected. Lab will still work because that will be a different instance in the AWS, so that will still work for you. But the recording and everything will stop after 2 hours. Okay, so that is something that they are still working on. Okay, so now yesterday we took an overview of all the tools and what all tools we use in One Identity, and what are the important things, aspects of One Identity, the architecture of One Identity, the solutions by One Identity. Okay, so now today we'll go through some of the high level things in One Identity. Okay, unfortunately there is one more thing, that the lab instance is still something that the person is working on. Okay, so you can see that this is how it will look like. An AWS instance, new One Identity. You need to start the instance daily from here, and a new VDI will open up where you will be able to see the One Identity and everything. So today it is like something I have installed over there, but it is not yet completed. There are few things that are still remaining related to the database. So that I need to sort out with the vendor. So it's still in pending. So today what we'll do, there is a free version, as I mentioned, that we have this free version from One Identity. Okay, so I have just installed it and I am inside it. Okay, so as you can see that this is the free trial version by One Identity. Okay, so you all can also get into this. So I'll share this path with you. So after today's call or today itself, you can. Oh my God.
Do we need to provide any email ID or password, to details to download that and install?
It's not something that will be downloaded. So what it will do is that,
It's a virtual machine.
yeah, it will create a virtual. I don't know what.
Is this recording? Is this recording now?
Yeah. It's getting recorded. 1 second. No, I think I restarted. So the recording feature is not working. 1 second.
It's showing recording for us. I can able to see you.
Okay, then might be there is some issue on my end. It is not showing me. If it is showing, then it is fine. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
just share
it's
my
showing.
screen again. So you need to put your email ID, the work email ID, like if you are working with whichever organization, so you need to put your email ID over there. So once you log in, okay, it will, like, once you put your credentials and everything, it will ask you for the version, like what One Identity you want to install. So you can just select this one, Identity Manager. Okay, and then you can click on this start your virtual machine. So it will automatically create a virtual machine over here and it will take you to that virtual machine. Now once you are inside that virtual machine, it will open a new desktop. Okay, as you can see that this desktop is open for me. Okay, now the credentials are provided over here. So you can see this key sign over here, credentials. So you will log in with this administrator over there, and this is the password that you will be using. Okay, so please use the same administrator user, and this will be the password. Now, when you will open the tools like One Identity Manager tools, so this tools will also be requiring authentication. Okay, so suppose if I want to open any of these tools, I need to put the credentials again. So automatically, so as you can see, I have already, let me close this and open it again. So if I open this Launchpad tool over here, so you can see the user is IAM admin. I just need to paste the same password. that was mentioned. Okay, and I will be logged in into the machine, into this system. Okay, so Launchpad is something like yesterday when we were discussing about this. So we didn't discuss about Launchpad. Launchpad is something that is a utility provided by One Identity, where what you can do is that you can like once you log into the Launchpad, now you can open any of these tools without the requirement of without the requirement of putting the credentials again and again. Now suppose I want to open Designer, data import, any of these tools, I can just click on run and I don't need to provide the credentials again and again. Otherwise what will happen that if you open the tools from the file explorer and open them one by one, so for every tool you'll have to select the credentials, enter the credentials. Okay, so the only benefit of using Launchpad is that you can get all these things within single page and you can open all of them. Also, you
So
can see there are, yeah.
in this real time also it will be the same thing. We need to
Yes, yes.
go to the production.
Correct, correct. So in every environment, you will be able to see there is a Launchpad. You can just put the credentials for the first time in the Launchpad and then you can open any of these tools from Launchpad itself.
That is only one time activity, right? For example, if I open a Launchpad, then if I run any like configuration widget or analyzer or database or data import, if I click on run, that is only one time. Or whenever I open, whenever if I next time if I want to do the data import again, I need to run, or then how it is?
Yeah, so every time you need to work on a particular tool, you'll have to launch the Launchpad and click on the run. Okay, so until and unless you have stopped working it and you have closed it, it will be active, else it will get closed. So once you close your system, all these application will close and you'll have to re-enter the credentials again. I'll show it to you how it works.
Okay.
Uh, Apart from that, you can see a lot of things are over here. Okay, installation overview, that if you want to install any particular new module into One Identity, you will be able to see over here that if you want to install One Identity Manager service for database, you can see the tick mark. That means that it is already installed over here. Automatic software installation, that is already something you can see checked. So it will automatically see if there is any particular software update, it will automatically update it. Then we have another things called Starling. So Starling is a new connector and a new subscription that is provided by One Identity. So if you want to use on-prem solutions with One Identity, then you need to install this One Identity Starling version, and you need to get the subscription of this Starling website as well.
So what
Okay.
Starling will do exactly? I mean, what is the role
So
of this?
Starling, yeah. So Starling is a solution. Like there are two kinds of solution. Okay, one is on-prem that you can install on your own servers. You'll have to get your own servers. You'll have to install job server. You'll have to install your web server, and you need these servers on your own. You'll have to provide the cost for these servers to a third party. Now, if you go for the cloud-based solution, what will happen that One Identity will provide you everything. All the servers and everything will be on the cloud, and it would be done by One Identity itself. So you'll have to pay extra to them, obviously, because they are giving you all the servers and everything. So that is the difference.
Okay.
So one is
Got it.
on-prem and one is on cloud. Then we have this different
One
things like
Identity One Identity Starling is only for cloud.
sorry, could you repeat?
One Identity Starling is nothing but which we use all the servers from the cloud. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. If we are doing on premises, then we don't require this One Identity Starling, right?
Correct. That's right.
Go ahead, Abhinav.
Okay. So the next thing is web portal. So if you want to install the web portal, you can select this web portal over here. So web portal is something that I yesterday discussed about, that the end user will interact with the web portal. So it is that web portal. Then comes the install application server. So as I mentioned, we'll be discussing about it later on. So install an application server for secure one identity manager, access locally on a server with installation with the installation medium. So application server, so there are two things. Okay, suppose if I want to connect to a particular tool, suppose I want to connect to this designer or manager or object browser. Now there are two ways I can connect to this server. One is via the SQL server or the database server, and one is via this application server. So the difference is that when you are connecting to the database server, it will require the object layer. It will interact with the object layer. It will go through the credentials for the object layer, and then it will connect you to the database. Application server is something that you can directly connect to the system, the server, with the help of the application server. Okay, so suppose if I go over here and click the run button, okay, but if I click, it will automatically come up. Let me open it from here. Program files, one identity. So suppose if I open designer from here, okay, so you can see currently it is taking the database connection. This is the one IAM database over here that is mentioned. Authentication is mentioned as the system user, and then we are using the system user IAM admin, and it is asking me for the password. Now if I go to click on add new connection, you can see there are two options. One is SQL server and one is application server. So when I select the SQL server, it will ask me for the database credentials, like what would be the authentication method and what would be the server name. If I select the application server, it will ask me with the URL for the application server, and directly we can connect to the tools without the use of the credentials for the database. But obviously application server won't allow you all the features of the database. Okay, you won't be able to edit anything, you won't be able to insert anything, you won't be able to update anything. Okay, so insertion, updation, deletion, modification is prohibited with the use of application server. You can just go ahead and view everything. So if you are working as a operations person and you just want to see and manage the things, so you can use this application server to go through the identities and data that is already present in one identity. Okay, so this is the difference between the application server and the database server. Now, as you can see, because I opened this tool from the program files.
Sorry. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Abhinav, see, so you said that the application server, okay, application server connect to the which application? For example, can you give any example?
See, when we install the one identity manager, okay, when we install one identity manager, so we call it a application only. Okay, so there is a server address provided for one identity. So same address you have to provide over there also when you are connecting to this one identity. So it's not a different application, it is the same application that we are using, but through the application server. So once, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so it is the same website that you are going to visit, just you need to put the URL over there. Once you put the URL, you will be able to connect to this same designer tool, manager tool, whatever you are trying to open, but obviously you will not be able to insert, modify anything over there. It is just for the viewing purpose.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Now, because I have opened this tool from the file project, from the folder, so you can see it is asking me for the credentials over here. Okay, it is saying that this is a system user, this is the user, and this is the password. Now if I will log in without this file explorer and I go to my this launchpad and directly come to tools and open it, it will be opened for me directly. I don't require to put any credentials. So you can see this designer tool will open up for me.
So this designer tool, all the tools can be managed in operations side or the development side. So what actually the operations team will do, what developments do. That anyway we are going through us, right, in the future.
Yeah. So yesterday, as I told you, that there are few tools that will be used mostly by the operations team, and there are few tools that will be mostly used by the developer team.
Okay. You will
Designer.
define, I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So you will differentiate, right? Means what operations team will, which tools we need to use.
Yeah. Sure. I'll just tell you one by one as
Okay.
we go through the lab. So I'll tell you. So today we'll be discussing about the tool that is the manager tool. Okay. So we'll go through this. But what I'll ask you all to do today is that once you log into this demo lab session, okay, as I told you, you have the credentials over here. You can use these credentials over here, the administrator, and this is the password. Okay, once you log into this tool, then over here in the launchpad itself, you can see the documentation. Okay, so just go through the One Identity Manager documentation for once. Okay, it will give you some more insights on what all things you can do from One Identity. However, you have all these different documents: web portal, user guide, operation support, online documentation. But I'll ask you all to go through this particular documentation. Okay, so it will help you to understand a few more things about One Identity. Now, as we go through this, okay, we'll come to tools. Okay. Now, discussing about the manager tool. So we'll open this manager tool over here. This is version 9.
Even the real time also it will be the same procedure, right? You'll go to the launchpad and
same thing. Yes.
Okay.
It would be
so
the
what
same.
is the latest version at present running in the industries, or
so
is there any
currently
changes for the previous updates and current versions, or is there any differences, and on what basis actions companies will take? I just want to know.
Okay, so recently One Identity has launched version 10. Okay, that version 10 is only enterprise version. Enterprise version means that only the organizations can use it. No one else will be able to use it. So the lab also that we will be creating, like the instance that I have shown you. So here also I'll be using the 8.1 version. Okay, because above that all the versions are the enterprise versions that can only be used by a valid license, and that can be used by the organizations only. It cannot be used for any other purposes. So similarly, latest version is 9.10. The latest version is something that they have not provided over here also in the demo lab by One Identity. The latest version they have provided over here is 9.3. So the current version that you are seeing over here in my screen is 9.3. Okay, the differences, obviously I told you that I'll be giving you hands-on on the differences also. So I have a document with me. This is the document over here. So I'll be giving you an overview at the end that what are the differences between the version 8 and above version 9. So what are the new features that are available and how is the market for these. Okay, so that is something that we'll be discussing at the end of the sessions.
Okay.
Now, coming back to our this tool, we are talking about the tool that is the manager tool. Okay, so the manager tool is mostly used by the it will be used mostly by the operations team. It will be used mostly by the testing team. Okay, so these are the two teams that will be using it mostly. Developer is rarely involved in working on this manager tool, but there are few things that you can handle from manager itself only. Okay, so the few things are like creation of a new mail template, creation of new IT shops, creation of new reports, and then creation of new approval policies, approval workflow, approval procedures. So these all things can be created via manager only. Okay.
So
I
this
think,
manager tool can handle only will one person, or is it different? Like multiple people can access, or how exactly?
yeah. So multiple people can access a particular tool at the same time. It's not an issue. So even if you are creating new entities, creating new datas, that is also something that is acceptable. Only suppose that there are two people, you and your teammate are doing the same operation, they are creating the same organization at the same time, and he has completed it and he clicked on the save button. Now when you will also add the same thing and click save button, it will show that this particular thing already exists. Okay, but multiple people can work on the same time at the same
So
machine.
in this manager tool, what are the major things we can do, like onboarding, user onboarding, offboarding, and all assistance create?
No. See. User onboarding, offboarding is a very different topic. Okay, onboarding, offboarding is something that will handled by connector. So what connector means is that suppose we have a CSV connector. Okay, we have a HR database, and that HR database is using a connector that is a CSV connector or a Workday connector, or they are using success factors. So
Okay,
what
that
will
we are
happen?
going to cover in coming classes, right?
Yes.
Understand. So what in this manager dashboard, what we will do usually?
Just okay. So please raise your question again.
Oh, sorry. What exactly we will do in this manager tab, this manager
Yeah,
tool?
that is what I'm going to tell now. Okay.
Thank you.
So now what all things you can do from this manager tool is you can see that there are multiple options available over here, like identities, organizations, business role, entitlements, IT shop, attestation, and everything. So a lot of things are there that you can handle from one identity manager. Now if I click on identities over here, everyone else, can you please mute yourself? There is some background noise. Thanks. So now if I click on identities, you can see there are few more options that are available on the top of this over here. Identities, inactive identities, logged identities, security incidents, certifications, data source, and much more. Okay, so now if I click on this identities tab over here, you will be able to see that there are around 158 employees that are already created by one identity into this database. Okay, so these are the employees like Peter, Christopher, Ogler, and whatever. So now, as I told you yesterday, so one identity manager, this particular tool, what it will show you, it will show you the hierarchical view that what is the user, what this data, but what this user has, like the AD account, the exchange account, and everything. So if I double click on this user over here, So you can see this is the identity. Okay. This is the person. These are the application roles he has: birthright roles, everyone, base right roles, everyone, change, lookup. These are the account definitions he has. Okay. This is the Active Directory user account he holds. So as I told you that you will be able to see which Active Directory account he has. Okay. Also, this person has sales report user tools, and this particular report also he has subscribed to. So you can see this. Then you can also see that what are the additionally assigned business roles to this person. So he's a full-time employee. So that is the only job role assigned to this person. Now, if I click on this user again, you will be able to see further more details for this user. Okay. Like you will be able to see the, so you'll be able to see the name, full name, first name, last name, the title, and then you'll be able to see the employee type, the company email address, contact email address, and all these details. Organizational tab, you'll be able to see his organizational details, like what it is, primary department, what it is, cost center, the business role, entry date, and all these things. If I click on the address over here, you will be able to see the primary location, phone, and all these details are over here, the miscellaneous details. So in the miscellaneous details, this particular thing is very important. Okay. Why? What I mean by this, that this is very important, that this particular central user account name is used to be log into the web portal. So whenever you are logging to the web portal, this particular central account will be used. So we'll see that in the future, but for now, just uh, get that this particular central user account is very important. Now, obviously, when you have an account, you'll have a password also. So this is where the password sits. Okay, so whatever the user account is, this is where the password will be held up. This would be the email address of the person, the default email address, whatever the person's name is. So this is this default email address. Then there are few user defined things. User defined things are some extra columns that are provided by one identity, where you can create something of your own. Like suppose there are some out of the box columns, but that doesn't suffice your requirement in the organization. Your organization wants some extra details, like the marital status, or they want the name of the parents or something like that. But for that, the one identity has not given any columns. So you can use these spare fields for your purpose. Okay, so for that purpose, one identity has given you 10 extra columns.
So if we update these attributes, I can say, like, for example, a job title or the parent or mobile number or any other thing spare file. So once we save this, where and all it will affect, and where and all, what is the workflow?
No. See, it depends on your process. So if you are just using it, like you update this spare field name with mobile, parent mobile, or something like that, and you just don't do anything other thing. Okay, you don't create any process, you don't create any value template. It will just simply save the value over here. It will not do anything. So anything you want to be
It
moved,
won't push to any other platforms.
yeah.
That's where and all he was having the credentials.
Abhinav, is asking if we create this, if we create an employee record with the all the mandatory details, and where this data will get stored, or do we have any workflow for that?
So currently this data is only saved in the person table. Now, if your person table has any triggers, any processes, then it will be flowed with that. So if it is tagged to a AD account, it will create an AD account.
Yes.
If it is tagged to any particular thing, it will do that. So let me show you one more thing. If I go back to the account identities, you can see there are two things over here, account definitions. One is account in sales report application, one is AD account in IAM demo domain. So what this specifies, if I open any of these, suppose if I open AD account in IAM demo domain, account definition, managed operating data, Okay, full-time employee. So what this particular account definition is doing, this account definition is tagged to a dynamic rule. Okay, dynamic rule is something that you can create a dynamic rule and you can put a condition over there similar to this condition, as you can see, and whichever user follows this particular condition will be automatically added to that particular account definition. Now let me tell you how it works. Now suppose there are multiple people there in the person table, okay, that is the identity table. Okay, now there must be some people who are contractual based employees, there must be some who are contingent, then there must be some who are external employees and whatever. So there must be different kind of employee types. Okay, now this particular condition says that if is external is false, like the person is not external, identity type is primary, and is inactive field is false. That means the person is not external, the identity type is primary, and the person is active. Okay, so if these three conditions follow up, what will happen that this person will automatically be added to this account definition, and that account definition, what it will do, it will create a account for that person in the Active Directory group employee. Let me show you how it works. So if I go to identities, click on this create, and I create a new identity over here. So these are the only two mandatory fields. So the mandatory fields are marked with this yellow color. Okay, so whichever fields are marked as yellow, so those are the mandatory fields. So currently these are the only two mandatory fields. So one thing also to check over here, as soon as I put the name, first name and last name over here, it will automatically create the central account for me. So this is also something that is calculated via the value template that we'll see in the coming time when we'll be discussing on the designer. But for now, you just see that this central account is created automatically as soon as I put the first name and last name. Also, the email address is also created for me. Okay. Now, when I have created this, I will put the employee type as employee. And there must be something called identity type. So identity type is over here. Okay. So there are multiple types of identities: organizational, personalized, sponsored, shared, service, machine, and all these. Now, if I select primary identity and click save over here,
On what basis we can use different identities?
so that is a organizational structure. So that depends on the requirement of your organization, that it could be a contractual worker, it could be a contingent worker, an external vendor, a vendor that is a third party vendor. So that depends on your organization, that how they have managed those things.
If we want to add any other additional field like part-time or contractors, then we can add that, right?
Yeah. So if you want to add any like if you want to add any other particular role over there or any other particular thing, so you can simply add that value over there. That is also something we are going to learn when we work on the designer tool. So designer tool will give you the details on all these things.
Thank you.
Okay. So now as soon as I created this person, right, I will click on the back button again. And
You just make that down. You can't able to see their identities. The tab. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Yeah, they recently created, no? Where is that? Search the name filter. Yeah.
so now as you can see that because I selected the identity as primary identity over here, so that is the reason what has happened, that the Active Directory account is already created for me. Why? Because this active account definition was created. Okay. Now let me show you one more thing. Now if I go ahead and create another user and I give the name as bot test, okay, go to miscellaneous and identity type I give it as machine identity. Okay, and click to save over here.
So central user account is the person need to log in through the central user account or the email ID.
Central user account. So the central user account will be used to log in into the web portal.
Okay.
So now this, for this person, you can see that because I selected the identity type as machine identity, so there is no account definition assigned to this user, and also there is no Active Directory account created for this user. Okay. So with this, we understand that what is the use of dynamic role. So dynamic role is something that is used to create a condition that will be calculated at the time of creation or at the time of schedule, and once it is done based on the condition, it will add the users to that particular account definition, or it will create an account for that user. Okay, so this is how it works over here.
Abhinav, just a small doubt. So now we have created with the first name and last name, that's it. So
Yeah.
how this one-handed application role and IT shop got added?
See,
Do you have any?
these things are also birthright roles. Okay, so
Yeah, but
whenever,
rules.
yeah,
Yeah, tell me. So this also we will only configure, right?
no, that is already configured by one identity. So these are the default base roles that are already based on the out of the box functionality of one identity. So it will automatically add you to these two things. Now, if you have created any custom IT shop, if you have created any custom application roles or custom, birthright roles, then that is something that you can configure to choose that who should get these access. But these are the basic things that one identity provides to the user as soon it is created, whether he is a primary person, whether he is a machine identity, or whether he is any person.
Okay.
So these are the default settings. If you have created any custom settings, then basically you can customize your option that when and who should get these things.
Yeah, actually, in my previous organization, how it was, no? So, IT shop, access to IT shop was depends and was configured as per the location. So if the location is updated as UK, then UK IT shop was coming. It was directly assigning. So that is the thing I just asked.
Yeah. So in that case, what they would have done, they would have created different IT shops. Okay, so if you can
Yeah.
see, we have this particular thing, IT shop, and here
Yeah.
you can configure a lot of different IT shops, like IT shop based on the location or anything, and
Mm-hmm.
automatically the same thing will follow over there. Also in IT shop also we have dynamic roles. So in the dynamic
Mm-hmm.
role you can mention that the person identity should be primary, location should be UK. It will automatically see that if the person who has been added currently belongs to the location UK, the dynamic role will work and it will add that person to that IT shop that is for the UK.
So we will do that in primary location dynamic role, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if we will create one location, primary location, in that we will write as a dynamic. So if they got, they need to do this IT shop to get this
It will
info.
not be in the location. It will be in
Okay.
the it will be in the IT shop. See, location is something that you will be adding over here. So the filter
Yeah.
will be the location. So you will be filtering the location. Like if I go to IT shop, okay,
Okay.
and I click on this, create a new IT shop,
Okay.
IT short node USA
Mm-hmm.
shop.
Shop. Mm.
Okay, and you click on save.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now this is saved.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Location. There is something called location. We can do something there.
No, no, no. That is something that if you want to define a location to this, so you can
Okay.
select a location, cost center, owner, deputy for this. I am just
Mm-hmm.
looking for any other option. Assign. So this one, okay. This one you can see, this IT department shop is another shop that has been created. So this is
Mm-hmm.
something that we need to create. That is a customer node. Okay, so if I click on this, I'll click new IT shop node. I'll give the name USA shop, and parent IT shop node I'll give as USA over here, the one that we have recently created. If you select dynamic
Mm-hmm.
roles not allowed, you will not be able to create. But in our case, we want to create a dynamic role, so we'll not select
Yeah.
this. I'll simply save it. Okay.
Okay.
Now once I have saved it, what I'll do is I'll come back to my USA shop again and click on this customer folder. Now
Mm-hmm.
I can do one more thing. Click on this customer node, create dynamic role, you can see, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll click on this create dynamic role. It will
Okay.
automatically create these two things. I'll click on the edit SQL over here and put the SQL over here.
Mm-hmm.
Over here we can mention UID department. So I'll have to see which departments are available.
Something called demo is there.
Development
Department.
US.
Development US. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just open it in a new tab. Open on new tab. Okay. Right click. Properties. Select this value.
UID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Control C. Okay. Come back over here to identity and mention
Okay.
UID depart
Underscore different is equal to single quote. Okay.
Okay. So as soon as I'll do this, what will happen? I'll save this first. Okay. Now what I need to do is I need to click on test condition.
Okay.
Test condition shows 0 object because obviously there is no person assigned to this thing now. Now I'll come back to identity. Click on identities again and select
Bot.
my over
Yeah,
here.
anything.
Open on new tab. And in the organizational primary department, I'll select my department as
Development US.
Okay, and save this thing.
Identity overview.
I'll come back over here to development.
You can go to that your name only identity. The right hand side in your name and overview you can give means you will be able to see that. Click on it.
Yeah, we can come over here also.
Okay.
So we'll come back to this dynamic rule. Rule and click on test condition. So now you can see there is one object that is coming. Okay. Now, if I select assignments recalculated immediately, so what this it will do that it will, as soon as the person is assigned to a particular department called USA Development US, automatically that person will be assigned to this IT shop. Okay. The second thing is that there is a calculation schedule, dynamic roles check. So this dynamic roles check must be running every 1 hour, every 2 hour, every 3 hour. So what will happen that as soon as the person is added to this department, this schedule will run after 1 hour or after 2 hours, and then it will be assigned. But if I select this particular thing over here, it will be assigned automatically and immediately to the person. So you can, if you want to do the testing of it, you can just click start recalculation immediately. Okay. The calculation task has been successfully queued. So this particular thing, this user will be automatically added to this IT shop. Okay. So if I go back to USA again, so you can see that this person has been assigned to this identity shop.
Yeah, thank you, Abhinav. And we have, I think we have 2 minutes, whether it could get disconnect or it is 2 hours.
No, today's is of 2 hours. So I think yesterday you discussed with Sunana, right? That from now on it will be 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So if we want, you can take a break of 5 minutes. Okay, in 5 minutes we'll come back and we'll see the other things that we can do in the manager tool.
Okay, so I mean this. Okay, Abhinav, just I want to put you the note like. So when we are doing, I mean, this is already set it up in this demo thing, but when we are showing in your environment from the scratch, you can just walk us through. So it will be best like how the reality will work.
So this is the real life scenario only. So when you click, like the way I created, see, if I create a new person, this is something you are not going to do anyways in One Identity, because that will be something that will be handled via the HR system. Okay. So anyways, you won't be creating any identities in the prod environment. The source of truth for the One Identity database is the HR system, whether it is SuccessFactors, whether it is the Workday, whether it is any CSV connector. You won't be creating a new employee. You won't be updating any employee. You won't be deleting any employee. These all things are handled by the HR system and the synchronization. This is something you cannot do. But
Okay.
when you will be working on the lower environments, like you are working on particular any new enhancement, you are creating any new process or anything, then in that way you can create a new person the way I create, and you can play around it. Like you can see that how the mail templates are working, you can see that how the user is working and those things. So you will be doing these things in the lower environment, but you won't be doing it in the higher environment, in the prod.
Okay. So what kind of usually in the operations side, like in this manager tool, so what kind of concerns it will come generally,
So
like
yeah,
the things
so
like.
generally the things will come up like there might be few things that the person has requested a particular access, the over here in the manager, and everywhere it is showing that the request has been successfully approved for the user, but still he is not able to log in. Okay. So there might be cases where you need to offboard a user because there is some emergency, and the HR database sync will happen overnight. Okay, it will be a nightly sync, but there is some emergency and you need to offboard that user. So in that case, you will be asked to offboard a user. Okay. And then there might be some simple changes that they might ask you, like there is a approval workflow. You need to see that who is the next approver who needs to approve it, what is the attestation policy applied on it, what is the condition generally working on this. So these are the things that the ops guy will be doing in the manager tool. Looking for a department, looking for the shops, looking for the current status of the request. So these are the things the user will be doing. So suppose if I go,
Applications will be application also will be tagged like any other applications like IAM to like Slack or Zoom or any other thing also we can onboard from manager tool, or there is a different way.
no, onboarding of tools is not done via manager.
Okay.
So no tools can be onboarded from manager. However, you can see all the tools that have been onboarded. So if there is any application that has been onboarded, so you can see it from here. Like if I click on ADS, you can see all the ADS accounts, ADS groups, ADS computers, printers, and everything. Similarly, if you have any custom target systems like Salesforce or something, so that thing also you can see over here. We have unified namespace, privileged
So
account.
target system permissions also we can provide from here only. Yeah?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Target system permissions. So we can provide from the manager tab only. Then it will be
Yeah.
different.
You can do that. So if you want to assign a Active Directory account to a person, you can do that from here. If you want to assign an Active Directory group to a person, you can do that from here. Similarly, the service items that are the requestable service items in the front end. If you want to request anything from the front end and you want that particular service item should have a particular Active Directory. Okay, so that is also something that you do. So that is something I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so let's take a 5 minutes quick break, and then we'll come back and see that how we create a new requestable product in the IT shop. Okay, and how it is requested and how we can see that what is the current status of it. So we'll cover the creation of new product, the approval policy, approval workflow, and once it is requested, in which table it is created, the entry, and how the approval workflow looks like. So we'll just see all these things in few minutes. Okay, so
Okay,
let's
so
just take a 5 minutes break. Yeah.
attestations and the business roles and all the creation, that also we can go through, right? The later on sessions, like.
Yeah. So attestation and business roles we'll be doing in the tomorrow's session.
Okay. No, because the basically we should like the fundamental part, it should be very important. We should not like mess up. So that's what you can walk through us. And so if we want to practice like the zone we can provide, right, for the instant to us to create or the do the things.
Yeah. So today you can do it over here in the lab itself, this free demo version. Okay, and from tomorrow onwards, if the lab is created by tomorrow, then you can practice on that lab.
Okay, so you can
So
walk us from
Abhinav,
the
that
scratch, like.
yeah. So the Abhinav, the lab is already. I mean, software will be already installed, or do we want do? Are we going to go through the installation also?
No, the installation will take a lot of time. I am installing it from morning since
Okay.
I think 11:30 a.m. and still the
Mhm.
database issues are there. So what we'll be doing is that I will be creating everything, like the setup and everything will be done in that particular instance, and that AWS person will copy that same instance into four more machines for you all. Okay, so the
Okay.
copy of that same instance will be created for you all. So then after that the copy is created, then whatever you do is private to you. Like whenever you are creating a new employee, a new attestation case, that will be
Okay.
only for you only. Okay. So only the new instance would be copied. Then whatever you are doing is private to you.
Okay. And one more question, actually. So since I'm currently working in the one identity only,
Hmm.
so I am facing. I mean, I'm facing an issue in the installation. I'm getting an error called. No, I'm not. That is not an error. But in manager tool, the database connection there is showing successful. No, there it is showing somewhere something like database agent service is not running. What may be the
Yeah.
issue?
So the issue behind that is that what you need to do is open the SQL Server Manager. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
in the SQL Server Manager, at the bottom, I think inside the security or connection
Yeah,
somewhere,
there will be agent.
there is called
SQL
database
agent.
agent. Okay, so you need to
Okay.
restart that.
Okay. After restarting, do I want to restart manager also?
Yeah, so once you have restarted it, you will restart the manager and it should work.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, let's take a 5 minutes quick break and then we can discuss on rest of the things.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back over here.
Hi, Abhinav.
Yeah. So Mohan, one thing, like, are you all from the same organization or are you?
No, no. Actually, I'm from TCS, and Madhukar is yet to join to TCS. So, and Praveen is also will be coming to the TCS soon. So he's from the IAM domain, not from one identity, and he know all about networking and all things. Me and Bharat know about one identity because we were working from last 6 years with this same operation things. So we were taking care of all creation of product creation, service item creation, IT shop, AD group creation, and DL creation, shared mailbox creation like this. And we were working on job queues, and we were working on data importers also, and also object browser. We had a limited access to that. So since we are in operation team, we had a limited access. Now what we are doing, so Praveen needs some more information about it, so that he can come and go in a flow, and also Madhukar also need the same. So that is what our intention. And I need to complete my implementation certification. Since I'm just because of that, I'm attending this in this class.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Now it makes a little more sense to me. So I was just wondering that if you are all from different organizations or from the same. Okay, fine.
Yeah. We all are from the different organization. Praveen is working from Rippling, and Madhukar is yet to join. He's not doing any job as of now. Bharat is working from my previous organization, Gallagher. So now me and Bharat are currently working in IDM only, one identity only in operation sites.
But we work together in other organizations like Movement.
Yeah, earlier we were working together, me and Praveen.
Okay. Okay.
We are all like in one umbrella.
Nice.
Actually,
Okay.
uh, we have some. Uh, I have some more doubts on this. Like because the implementation certification, I don't know the concept of it, how it works, and how the certification goes, and what questions are they are asking. So before that, I'm just practicing everything, each and everything. Where can I get chance or there like that? So that is the thing. I'm just diving here, and. When I need you to please brief about things, because Praveen and Madhukar are new to these things, but I'm not. That's fine for me, but please deep dive for all the topics, what exactly we need in a real time scenario.
Yeah, yeah, sure, definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Yep. Let me share my screen again. So, is it visible? Working on operations, you would have experienced and you would have worked on it as well. So there are multiple times that a user will come up that they have created few new AD groups or they have created few new Azure AD groups. Now they want that they should be created as requestable roles from my identity so that anyone can request them, and based on that, like the group membership should be provided to the users. Okay, so how we deal with that kind of thing, and what are the things that are important to create that. So we'll go with that step by step. Okay, so first let me check if there are any ADS groups already present over here or not. Um, yes, there are a lot of AD groups. Okay, fine. So now what I'll do, I'll click on this entitlements tab over here, come to system roles. Okay, and I'll click on this create a new system role. The system role name would be let's give a name as test AD role. Okay, display name could be same. Okay, so I have created this new system role. The name is test AD role, and I have given a description over here as this is to test assignment of AD role. Now you can see there is something called system role type. So I'll give it a system role type as let it be common only. PAM access resource set SAP product. Okay, let it be common only. Now I'll just save it. So I've created a new system role. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll go to the overview of this system role overview. So this is how the overview looks like. Now, because of the fact that suppose a client has reached out to me saying that there is a new AD group that they have created, and they want that this AD group should only be allowed to the person once they request from the my ID, and it should be approved by their line manager plus the system role owner. Okay, so this is what the client
Sorry.
has requested.
Yeah, sorry to disturb, what do you mean? What is the difference between system role and service item? Because if in system role, we can able to create service item there itself, right? So what is the difference between that?
See, system roles are generally required for a lot of things. Okay, so if you are directly assigning a Active Directory group, or you are directly assigning different entitlements to your service account, then there might be some things that you cannot deal with. Like if you are working on attestations, if you are working on some approval workflow policies or something, so there you might not be able to do everything on the directly attached service item objects. But if it is attached to a ESET like the system role, then you can do a lot of things on it. Okay, so I'll tell you that. Yep, I'll show you that what all you can do. So if you create a system role, you can see you can assign a lot of things to it. You can assign business roles to it. You can assign organizations, work desk. You can assign system role to system role. You can assign Active Directory groups, and a lot of different kind of target system things you can assign it over here. So the same options are mostly available for the service item also, but in that case there are a lot of other stuff that you cannot do with it, because service item is a requestable product, system role is not a requestable product. System role will not come as a requestable product until and unless you attach it to a service item. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll click on this assign Active Directory groups. Suppose I selected this incoming forest risk builders. So this is the group that the client asked me to make it requestable. So I assigned this group to this role. Now I'll come back to system role overview again. So you can see that with this system role, we have assigned this particular AD group. Okay. Now, as soon as the person will request this system role, it will, be assigned with this Active Directory group. Now, to make it requestable and to use the workflow that the client has asked, that it should first go to the line manager and then it should go to the system role owner. So what we require to do is that we'll come back to this system role again. Firstly, we'll assign it a manager. So let me assign it to myself only. I will be the manager. Now there is an option at the bottom, IT shop. So currently you can see that this service item is not marked as mandatory. As soon as I select this IT shop over here, it will be marked as mandatory over here. Okay. Now what I need to do, I'll just copy this name over here, test AD role. Click on this add button, service item test AD role. I'll just give a test service category over here. So we can give it anything, access life cycle, let it assign to access life cycle. Click OK. You can see the description is automatically taken from this description. Okay. And save this. So now what has happened, that it has created a new service item, that is the test AD role. It has created the it has created me as the system role manager. Okay. And we have checked the IT shop over here. Now the next thing that we'll do is we'll go to this service item. So I'll click on this system role overview again. You can see this service item is created for this. I'll click over here again and add a few more details over here. So max valid days is something that, suppose if I mark it as 365. So what will happen, that if a person is requesting for this AD group, so it will be granted to the person only for 365 days. So again, after 365 days, he'll have to renew his access and he'll have to go through the same workflow that we currently have provided. Okay. So we'll make it as 365 over here. Okay. And save it. Now, one more thing we'll do is that we'll go to service item overview again, and there is something called one second. We'll come to system role, and in system role we have something called add to IT shop. So or add to IT shop means that we will be publishing this product. Currently what we have done, we have created a system role, we have assigned the Active Directory group to it, we have created a service item for it, but right now this only is in the backend. It is not visible to the front end user. So to make it visible for the front end user to use it for the end user, what we'll have to do is we need to publish this particular service item. So to publish it, what we'll have to do is we'll have to click on this add to IT shop. So I'll click on this add to IT shop. We'll have to select the IT shop node. Okay. So you can see the current one that I have created is also available, USA. Okay. So I'll just create it inside this identity and access lifecycle. Let's create it inside access lifecycle. Now what will happen, that as soon as I click on add to IT shop and selected this particular node over here, what will happen, that it will publish that product into the IT shop. Okay. Now there is one more thing that we need to be aware of. The client also asked me that the approval should go to the line manager and then it should go to the system role owner. So the line manager would be the person who is the manager of the user, and the system owner, I have made it to myself, so it should come to me in the second level of approval. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to see for a similar approval workflow. So I'll come to IT shop. Inside IT shop, we have something called basic configuration data. I'll expand this. After expanding this, I'll come to the approval workflows. So we have approval of Active Directory group. We have this approval of line manager and development department manager, manager and cost center, manager with group peer analysis, manager, product owner, recipients manager with recommendation, recipient Manager, product owner, recipients manager. Okay, I think there is no out of the box available for us for the similar one. So these are all the out of the box approval workflows. So there is no one that suffices our requirement. So what I'll do, I'll click on this add. So in this way, you will also be able to see that how to create a new approval workflow. So I think we are left with 33 minutes. So I'll be a little quick. So we'll click on this approval workflow and give it a name. You can give it as CCC. So CCC is given whenever we are creating a custom, when anything custom created, like any column, any template, any new script, any new process. So we'll start the name with CCC. That is, we are custom creating it. So custom CCC. Okay. So CCC, and then we'll give it a name, approval by LM, line manager, and role owner. So this is the name we are going to give to our workflow. Okay. Now we'll create add approval levels. So this is something that how it should look like. So the first approval level would be approval by line manager. Okay. And there are approval procedures which are already created by one identity. So there are some out of the box procedures already available. So you can use them, or if you want to create a new approval procedure, you can create them for your own purpose. So currently both these approval procedures, like approval by line manager and approval by system role owner, is something that is currently available out of the box. So we'll be using those only. So this is, I think, CM manager. This is, yeah. So I'll use the approval procedure CM. So CM will already have the condition that it will take automatically the line manager of the person. So this approval procedure, what it will do, the person who is requesting this particular product, it will automatically capture the manager of that person. So this approval procedure is backed up by a SQL query. That SQL query will take the manager name of that person who is requesting this particular thing. Then I can mention the number of approvers. Obviously, this would be one. Reminder after. Reminder after is something that, suppose if I mention 960 over here. So what it will do, that if the manager of this person has not done or has not taken any action on this request, like he has not yet approved, rejected, or declined, he has not taken any action. So after 16 working hours, that means 2 working days, he will get a reminder mail that you have not actioned on this. So kindly take an action. So this is for that purpose that 960 is mentioned. Then we have this
who will define this workflow? I mean, will our manager or somebody will give the guidance to set up this kind of workflow, or do we need to follow any company policy like this?
No, see, this is something that you will have to rely on the requirement, that if the requirement has come, that you have to create this kind of workflow. Okay. So if there is an existing workflow, you can use it. If there is not an existing workflow, then you will have to create a new approval workflow. So in our case, because I was saying that we will first go by the line manager, followed by the system role owner. So that particular approval workflow is not available in the out of the box available workflows. So that is the reason I'm creating a new one.
Thank you.
Now the second thing that comes over here is the timeout. So timeout is, suppose if I mention over here 1800. So what will happen, that after 30 working hours, that means if the user has the line manager has not taken any action after this reminder also, after this 300 working hours also, then I mention the timeout behavior that it should automatically be denied. Okay, so in that case, what will happen, that if the recipient's manager is not taking any action within the 30 working hours, the request will get automatically denied. Okay, now if I select, there are multiple options over here, approval, additional approvals possible. So if I click this, then there might be other approvals that can be a part of this approval policy. If I select approval can be delegated, what does this mean? That suppose the line manager of that person is someone from you, and you are going on a sabbatical leave, or you are going out of office for 15 days or 30 days. So you can delegate all your responsibilities to someone from your team or to someone from your peer team. Okay, so if I select this, what will happen, that if you delegate it, it will be properly delegated. If you will not delegate, it will not get delegated. Then approval by affected identity do not show in approval history. So these are the different options that you can select based on the requirement. The second thing that comes over here is the mail templates. Mail templates is mail template request. So you can select anyone, approval required. So what it will do, that as soon as the person has requested it, the manager will get a message that there is one new approval for you. Okay, so it will say approval required. Then for the reminder, we have already set that after 960 minutes or 16 working hours, there should be a reminder mail going. So you can see that we already have this out of the box mail template, IT shop request remind approver. So we'll select this over here. Once we select this, we can select OK now. So this is the first approval step that we have created. Now, because I mentioned that we'll be having two levels of approval. First would be by line manager. Second would be by the role owner. So we'll click on add again. We'll give it a name as approval by role owner, and we'll select the existing approval procedure.
RO, role approver.
No, I think this is a different one.
Okay.
This is a different one. Primary department it is. It would be manager of a specific role. I think this should be the one only. Manager of a specific role. So this is something that we'll be assigning. The same things again we'll be putting over here. It would be 960 minutes that the approver should be told that kindly take action, and after 1800 it should expire. Timeout behavior will be again denied. Approval can be delegated. Now you can select the mail templates also over here. Approval required and approval reminder. Okay. Now, once this is created, you can just select this node from here to this. What it means, that once the line manager approves it, it will come over here. If the line manager declines it, what will happen? It will automatically get rejected. Similarly, if we want to add more things over here, you can just click and add more levels over here, like approval by product owner, approval by group owners, approval by a specific external approver. So you can add more groups. Similarly, if you want that if the line manager has rejected it, then there should be someone else who should be approving it. So again, you can create another approval level and you can check this particular node to that. Okay. So in this way, the approval workflow is being created. Now, once I have created it, I'll click on save. PWO decision step. Okay, here it is asking for a role. Okay, and then we might have selected the wrong. It should be manager of. I think that is also not available. We'll have to create a new approval procedure. So as we are short of time, what we'll do, instead of the role owner approval, we'll select the product owner. I'll show you what change we'll have to do for this. So instead of the role owner, we'll select the product owner over here and click OK and click save over here. Okay. So once this approval workflow is saved, the next thing that we'll have to do is to create a new approval policy. So that's a very simple thing. So I'll just click on this approval policy, click on new approval policy, add CCC approval by LM and PO. LM means line manager and PO means product owner. Okay. And then just assign the newly created approval workflow to it. So we have created this new approval workflow, that is CCC approval by line manager and this one. So we'll just assign this approval workflow to our newly created approval policy and save it. The reason approval policy is required because approval policy is something that we apply to the service item. So we'll come back to IT shop. We'll come back to our service item. Service catalog.
Entitlements.
Yeah, we can like select from anywhere. We can come from here, test AD role, service item. And then what you need to do is you need to assign this approval policy. You can see there is a this thing over here where you can select the approval policy. So I'll just click on this and select the approval policy, which is CCC, 1 second. Now, once we have selected this approval by element TO, we click save. Now, the next thing that we'll have to do is, because instead of the role owner, I have selected the product owner over here. So I'll have to assign a product owner to this. So you can see this shows the product owner over here. So I'll just create a new one over here, test AD role. Okay, save, and we'll come back to the service item overview. You can see that now it has a product owner. Now what you can do is you can assign multiple product owners to this particular role. So what I have done in the service item, when I selected the product owner, it created a new application role. So application role is something that where you can assign it to multiple owners. Like if I click on this application role, test AD role, click on assign identities. Now I can assign it to myself. Okay, I can also assign it to George. I can also assign it to this guy. So all these three guys will become the product owner for this particular role. Okay, if I go back again to my custom defined service item test AD role. So now you can see that this is my system item, service item. This is the system role that is tagged to it. This is the approval policy, CCC approval by LM and OM. Okay, and this is the product owner, number of 3 product owners that are assigned to this AD role, that are assigned to this role. Now we have completed the setup of the role. Like now we have published it, we have assigned a policy to it, we have assigned a group to it, we have assigned product owners to it. Now the next thing is that the end user will go to the web portal and will request this particular item. So for that, what we'll do is we'll come to identities again. Identities, I'll select any default user. Suppose I selected this default user. Okay, and I clicked on this user, miscellaneous. I'll change the password for this user. Okay, so now I'll just copy this name from here, come back to web portal, and over here I'll select identity. Okay, so now I am logged in into the web portal. So this is how the web portal looks like. Okay, this is the One Identity Manager web portal where you can request a lot of things. You can, if you are a manager, you can approve a lot of things. So this is a very dynamic page. It will look different to different users. If I am a manager, I'll be able to see a lot more different options over here. Like in the attestation, I might be able to see auditing. Similarly, in the requests, I might be able to see, request audit, escalation, and all those things, and a lot of options over here to approve and deny. Okay. So now I have logged in as a user. Okay. What I'll do is I'll click on this new request and I'll select the role that we have recently created, that is test. So you can see this test AD role is the new product that we have recently created. I'll select this product. We can see the entitlements also. So the entitlement is this incoming forest trust builders that was assigned as an Active Directory group by me. Okay. Copy. Why is it saying copy product URL? Add to cart. I'll go to my cart. Select this. I need to provide the reason. Why am I requesting this product? So testing. Standard reason for requesting is also testing. Priority is default. Valid from, I can select a valid from date. Okay, so I can select a date that is today, and automatically you can see because I selected 365 days. So you can select a valid until date until 3/6/2027 or a date lesser than this. But if you try to select a date greater than this, then it will shoot an error that you cannot select a date within the 365 days range. Okay, so we have selected this. Click on save. Click on submit. Why is it not? Click on submit. Okay, so now the request has been successfully submitted. Now there are two options: view request history, view saved for later list. So I'll click on this view request history. So this is the request that I have recently raised for the test AD role. I can click on this and I can see the workflow. It is currently being calculated, so let's wait for a few minutes. So what happens over here is that whenever you request a particular thing, there are some backend things that happen inside one identity. So in the backend, it might be calculating that who should be the next approver and who should be the new approver. So all those things are being calculated. So it would have created a job in the job queue. So if I'll go to job queue, it won't be present to you because it is not an actual thing that is happening in the backend, but it will be a part of the DB where the DB will be looking at for the so there is no process, as I told you. It would be looking in the DB working. Once the DB sorts this out, we'll be able to see an approver over here. Okay. So now you can see that it has been, it is showing now. So the first level of approval, as I mentioned, that it will automatically be taken the line manager. So you can see the first level of approval. The following identities are currently entitled to approve this request. And the first user is Paxton Ben. Okay. So this is the user who is the first person who should be approving it. Why it is showing Paxton Ben? Because if I go to this user in the manager and go to organizational, so you can see the manager of this user is Paxton Ben only. Okay. So the same reason why it is showing the line manager is Paxton Ben. The following identities are entitled to request after. So once this guy approves, it should go to the second role owner, and that is Mia and George. So I selected my name also, but mostly because I selected role owner as one only in the workflow. So it is showing only two. If I would have selected 0 over there, then it would have shown all the different approvers over here. So currently it has just selected the first top two, whichever it got. So it has just selected those over here. Okay. So in this way, this approval workflow works. So now if I log in with Ben Paxton and approve it, the next level of approval will go to these guys. Once these guys also approve it, it will be automatically approved. So we are left with 7 minutes. Let me quickly just show you this thing. Now what else you can see, as part of being a operations team or BAU guy, if someone asks you that I have requested this particular workflow but it is still not approved and I'm not able to see that who is the next approver, obviously he can see it from here. But if he is still not able to see, and if there is some issue which is not clearly visible in the web portal, then you can come to the manager over here, and in the manager you can go to this identity, the person who has requested it. Then we have an option over here called request history. So you click on this request history, you click on this pending, because it is obviously a pending request at the moment. So you click on this pending requests, click on this test AD role request that he has raised. Now you can see that this particular approval workflow that we have created, this level is currently in purple color. That means this is in progress. So if I just mouse over on it, you can see that the approver for this is Ben Paxton. So currently this request is pending with Ben Paxton. Now if I select this one, you can see it is showing two approvers, Mia Schindler and George Shelby. So these are the two approvers that are the next level of approvers. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll go to this Paxton Ben. So I'll just click back button. Go to this user, that is Paxton Ben, miscellaneous. Quickly I'll change the password for this user. Okay, now we'll take this identity from here, come back over here quickly. I'll just log out. Log in with this new user, the manager. Okay, now once I have done this, you can see there are one pending requests it is showing to me. And you can also see that, as I mentioned, it is a dynamic website. It will show different options. So you can see a lot of different options coming for this manager. Okay. Now if I'll click on this explore, pending requests explore. So this is the one that was requested by the person. So you can see that I have this opportunity to approve or deny this. So I'll click on approve. I need to give a reason. Okay. Save. And this is done. Okay, so that means I have approved it. Now I'll get back to my manager tool again. Quickly click the back button, back, select the user, go
Yeah,
to,
I have a client call now in 1 minute.
yeah. So I'm just completing it because the time this thing will
Yeah,
also close.
I'm going to drop now. Okay. Anyway, it's recorded, right?
Yeah.
I'll review it once it is saved. Okay.
Okay, sure.
I'm
So
going to
now,
drop.
cool. I'll again go to request history, click on pending requests over here, click on test ID role. And you can see this one is showing as green. That means this one has completed. Now it is pending with this role owner. Okay. So this is how you can see the things over here. Once I approve with any of these role owners, this request will completely get approved and the person will be assigned to that Active Directory group. So any questions on this?
We really need. We want to try our own on with our hands. Then only we'll get an idea, because this is a very big topic. I can say.
Yeah.
So if we get a chance tomorrow, we can try this. And today we will try on this. But by the chance, if anything is ready for the lab tomorrow, so let's go with again some of the fine tunes.
Sure. So as I mentioned that I'm working on that part, but still you can open this link, the link I have already provided to you.
Sure.
So it will open this virtual desktop. It's a very easy thing. You can easily install it over on your laptop and then you can work on it.
Okay, do we have any steps on the documents or anything by any chance?
The steps for these things are not given, unfortunately. You'll have to go with the recording only. Yeah.
Fine. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, I think the time is over. So we'll connect tomorrow and we'll see if we have the lab, we can work on it. The
Fine.
good thing about this demo session is that you already have created workflows. You have already there are already created users and identities. This is not something that is going to be available in the lab. The lab would be a blank page. You'll have to create everything. Okay. So if you want to go through this demo session, it would be a great hands-on experience for you to see the existing identities and how they are tagged to Active Directory and other things.
Fine.
Okay. Yep. I think all good. Thank you guys. We'll connect tomorrow then.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.